How's it going, Mac, and welcome back to another Dead by Daily video today. We'll be talking about the brand new 6.3.0 PTB, everything that you are going to need to know whenever you go ahead and play the PTB later, or everything you're going to need to know about the next upcoming mid-chapter updates. First things first, one of the features the developers hinted at back of the roadmap for their last anniversary stream, as well as something they've been talking about recently, is called the finishing Mori system. This system basically makes it where whenever you are the last survivor being essentially executed, the game will automatically transition and teleport you guys to a random part of the map that's preset so that you can see the Mori for the last survivor being executed. This system would also introduce a new mechanic at the end of the game where there's a new field of view slider that basically happens. It expands the field of view for both the killer and survivor when the survivor becomes the last person standing. However, it's important to know that this feature is not going to be coming to the next mid-chapter update. It's going to be planned for a future update when the developers have more time to polish and figure out all the tweaks to make sure that the system is working as intended. This feature is only existing in the PTB so that people can try it out and give some early feedback. This feature also basically means that whenever it does eventually come to the game, for the most part, all Moris will be removed from the game outside of the end game whenever it does the finishing Mori system, except for a few add-ons, except for other characters who do have it, like Michael Myers, who can pick up the survivor and kind of like Mori them in midair. The system also will include something where the survivors are basically able to unbreakable themselves at all costs, where after 45 seconds they get self-recovery back to the injured state after they go down to the dying state. This is supposed to help remove an unfun mechanic of the game that people have talked about for a large variety of time, which is when people get slugged for entire matches. A lot of people have been a little bit controversial about this with differing opinions, but my opinion, I think it's an unfun mechanic that a lot of people don't really enjoy whenever they're playing the survivor, and also it just doesn't happen too often where killers get to slug every person in the party, so I don't usually feel like it's going to impact killers for too much, but it will be noticeable for the survivor side when those situations where people are getting slugged galore kind of start to dwindle a little bit and don't exist. But this update includes some perk changes as well, with Unbreakable basically becoming non-existent. Unbreakable now increases the dying self-recovery speed by 80%, 90%, 100%. Soul Guard will allow you to gain the endurance stats effect for 4, 6 to 8 seconds after being healed or having recovered from the dying state. Also allows you to gain a 10% haste stats effect for 5 seconds. And this effect can only occur once every 30 seconds. No matter will now be where you suffer from the broken stats effect for an entire trial, but you gain the benefit from the following effects. The pools of blood are suppressed. When injured or dying, your grunts of pain are reduced by 25, 50, and 75%, and plus your recovery speed is increased by 15, 20, and 25%. Boon Exponential is now changed to where survivors inside the Boon's totem range benefit from the following effects. Increased dying self-recovery speed by 80, 90, and 100%. Rancor is changed to where each time a generator is completed, your obsession sees your aura for 5, 4, 3 seconds. Each time a generator is completed, the obsession's aura is revealed in red for 10 seconds and is permanently inflicted with the exposed status effect. And then with Hex Devour Hope, when the survivor is rescued from the hook at least 24 meters away, Devour Hope receives a token. 2 tokens gain a 3, 4, 5% haste status effect 10 seconds after hooking a survivor for a duration of 10 seconds. For 3 tokens, survivors suffer from the exposed status effect. 5 tokens, any survivor who are placed on the hook die immediately. Survivors already on the hook are unaffected. Once fully recovered, the survivor will see a get up prompt. Healing another survivor who's in the dying state still takes 16 seconds as before. So like they said down at the bottom here, it says due to production restraints, the localizations of the updated perks offerings, and any other text related to the finishing Mori system will not be seen during the PTB. It's likely just going to be standardized English, where a lot of people, or the majority of the player base, play. As a positive for Dead by Daylight, the next update is also going to include a bit more accessibility features for people who are going to be, who have issues playing the game because the game just isn't as accessible to them as it is for the standard user. But this basically says added a new accessibility tab in the options menu that includes the following subcategories: in-game text, dialogue subtitles, subtitle background, subtitle size, large text, colorblind mode intensity, motion sickness, and the last survivor standing field of view. As for optimizations, they add some optimizations done to the Huntress, but overall they have a lot of small improvements to animations and textures in the archives. The last few notable changes is that for flashlight cooldowns, reduced strobing, and the associated dangers regarding flash-induced seizures, flashlights now have a slight delay imposed between switching them on and off. Flashlight click speed is now slower, and the sound effect has been adjusted so it matches the new speed. For the archives, there's new challenge slots in the archives. Players can now select a survivor and a killer challenge at the same time. This will hopefully improve the experience for players who switch roles pretty often or want to take full advantage of the matchmaking incentives for blood point bonuses. Any challenges shared by both roles could also be assigned the slot of your choice or both slots if desired. Selecting a slot with an equipped challenge will navigate you to the respective tome and level of the equipped challenge. Completed challenges now remain in the archives widget until either claimed to replace a new challenge complete visual was added to the archives widget minimized state to better convey when the challenge you are working on is completed. This will hopefully reduce the current issue of not noticing your challenge has been completed previously and entering a subsequent trial or 6 without an active archives challenge. And they also remove the press and hold interaction on challenge nodes. But yeah, pretty much that's overall all the patch notes for 6.3.0 PTB. In my personal opinion, I feel like there's a right balance between a lot of different kinds of good quality of life features and changes. I know personally I have a lot of frustration when it comes to the archives and how that system works. So the more and more they do extra updates to improve the archive system, the happier I am for that. And on top of that, more accessibility features for people who have some disabilities or have some difficulties when playing the game is always a positive thing. And I feel like the finishing Mori system is going to be overall a net positive for the game as well, because it's going to make things far more interesting to be able to see these cool animations for every killer be played out. And it's going to be very interesting as well to make sure that those animations are not interrupted by assets around the map. And also make sure that especially for the survivor side, the fun isn't ruined once a survivor gets executed from a game simply because someone's Mori animation, somebody had a Mori offering that they brought and was able to execute them early for the match. But that's gonna be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, you guys, as always, please hit the like button and subscribe. Leave in the comment section down below your overall opinions about this update. Is it too much? Is there too little in this update? And what do you think overall about the actual changes? Please leave the discussion down in the comments below. I'll be sure to get back to anybody who's willing to have a conversation about these changes. But that's it for me. My name is Mac. I'll talk to you guys all later. Peace out.